So we'll start from the definition of risk. So risk is an uncertain future event which could influence the achievement of the organization's strategic, operational and financial objectives. So it is given by the International Financial Federation of Accountants. So what is their view of risk? They view that risk is some kind of an uncertain future event, okay, which could affect the strategic, operational, financial objectives of a company. We have to plan uncertain future events, and we should also try to overcome these kinds of uncertain events. This is another definition. Risk management is a process of understanding and managing the risk that the entity is inevitably subject to in attempting to achieve its corporate objectives. So it is a process of understanding what are the risks, where they are lying, how much dangerous they are, and trying to manage them in order to ensure that we achieve our corporate objectives. So these two definitions has nicely summed up about what is risk and why risk has to be managed. We have an example of risks in an organization. If a risk is not controlled properly, what would happen in a company? So the first example would be Barings Bank, and then we look at the BP oil spill. So this is about a bank called as Barings Bank. It is a London based bank where it is like was founded in 1762. There was a trader called as Leeson. He was a star trader. So what he does is he buys futures options with very huge amount, and he tries to make money out of it. So even though it is a bank, they also had a trading unit which trades in the derivatives, options and futures. So Leeson was a trader, and he was also appointed as a manager to the Barings Bank Singapore branch. So in the year 1993, he was responsible for 10% of the entire bank's profit. So it's a huge amount, and the amount is around some worth 10 million sterling or 100 crore rupees in Indian terms, and this was way back in 1993. So he's a really good trader, with which he earned a bonus of 130,000 pounds bonus on top of his salary of 50,000 pounds. He had an ability for generating profit, and he also got the trust of the top CEO of the company. He's not a normal kind of an employee, he's a very star employee for this company. What this company did is, as he's a very good, really well performing employee, they allowed him to trade as well as to also they settle the accounts on the back office. So he was given both the trading part and the back office settling part. He was once trading in derivatives market, okay, and he made a bet that the Nikkei index will go up. But Nikkei index actually fell to a huge amount by 17,950. To this point level it fell by the end of the week, and Leeson started recording big loss. So he thought the market will go up, and suddenly the market went down. His view was that the move down on the Nikkei was temporary, and he could write it out. So he thought the overall direction was uptrend, so he kept on again and again buying a lot of future positions. At one point of time, his future position contracts were 55,000 contracts. But the problem was Nikkei was always again and again it was like falling down. So as it is a derivative contract, there was like margin calls or margin money that have to be paid to ensure that the derivatives is still alive. So there was a margin call, but unfortunately the loss was huge and he couldn't meet it, and finally the entire bank couldn't meet it, and this loss was around 1.3 billion. So when the contract was like closed, it was around 1.3 billion or 7,800 crore of money which got wiped out because of wrongly betting on the direction of the market. So even the entire bank couldn't pay it, so the bank filed for bankruptcy. So by 1995, Barings Bank was bankrupt, and this Leeson was arrested in Frankfurt on 1995, and Barings Bank was sold to ING Bank for a sum of £1. So Leeson was convicted of fraudulent trading. So he managed to not to show all these contracts in the company's normal accounts. So he ensured that everything was done in a secret manner. So he used the company's money to fund on the betting, okay. So because it was a huge amount of money, he should have told to the higher officials, but he never told that, and he made a huge bet against, he made a huge wrong bet, and that went actually wrong for him. So because of this, he went for 6 years in prison, for his role in the Barings collapse. Other executives at the bank resigned or were sacked as a result of the collapse. So it's not that you are a 100 years old bank or a 200 years old bank and you don't need some 1,000 employees to close your bank or close down your company. You just need one single employee to close down your company, okay, and that too only one small error of risk management was not followed, and that ensured that even a 200 years old bank can get closed in a matter of a week. So this is the news clippings. Barings Bank goes bust. Leeson gets 6.5 years of jail time. Ego and greed. So by the age of 28, this trader has done a huge, remarkable bad thing. So where do you see the mistake in this scenario? Okay, it's for you to think. How could have this been prevented if you were the CEO? So if you are a CEO, where do you think you should have prevented it? Okay, it's not about preventing one single employee or a few employees. It's about structurally over a entire company. You should know how to prevent this kind of a problem, because that is the role of a CEO. So think about it, and based upon our further discussions, you will get an idea how to prevent it. So the next case is about BP oil spill. So this company BP is an oil exploring company. So what this company did is, on a seabed they drill down beneath the earth one point of time at reaching to the base level of oil. So they extract from there, okay, and the oil comes to this place. It's then shipped. So what happened is, somewhere there was an oil cap here between the extracting pipe and the oil bed. So somewhere that cap broke, and this is what resulted. Okay, the entire sea coast of California was flooded with oil, and there was like several measures through which they tried to control it. Okay, it caused environmental problem, it caused a reputational problem, it caused financial problem, it caused a lot of legal problem. So finally this was the verdict. So on November 2012, BP and the US Department of Justice reached a settlement. BP had to pay $4.5 billion of fine. So that is a huge amount which they had to pay it. And this is the effect on the share price. So the share price actually collapsed from around some $650 to around some $200. So that is a 1/3 of the or 2/3 of the worth just vaporizing. So again, you think where things have gone wrong. Okay, you think about how it went wrong. You can read the scenario which I showed you. Based upon this, you try to come out with your own version of how to prevent this problem.
You can reach me at my website wowacademics.com, or you can also see my Quora answers. I am active in LinkedIn and in Facebook page, so you can visit at these places. If you just type Shyam Prasad and Wow Academics, you will get all these links in Google search itself. And if you like this video, give a like, share to your friends, and if you feel that any points we have missed in this video, you can post it. We will try to give an answer to you in the comment section itself, or we'll also create another video for you. So thank you for watching our video.